What's up, everybody? So we have another great chapter of T-Bait, and my first reaction to this chapter is Winsom's a bitch. Okay, Winsome is a bitch. All right, he didn't try to help out any of the fight. All he did was make a portal and run away, tail between his legs, and it's just, man, he's just such a bitch in this chapter. He's just, man. But also, like, it's kind of sad. It's really sad to see that Aldir had to just, slaughter the people that he trained. He just had to just slaughter them. It's sad, but a lot to talk about. So let's get into it. So we start off with the Thyestes clan's leader, which is Aldir. That's kind of how I'm going to pronounce his name. But Aldir is going to talk to him to let him know, like, hey, I'm not going to be in Kez's services anymore, and he's going to be leaving. And we also get to see more of the Thyestes clans, like their homeland, and like the different how it looks, and the grass, and the grass is really crazy, like how it has, like, it could defend itself and defend the pantheons and stuff like that. Like it's pretty crazy. Then they got the big like long like towers of these kind of like almost spears, almost, so where they get so thin to like a needle point, and then they have like these poses that they're making. It's pretty interesting to kind of just understand like the Thyestes clans, like their culture. But anyway, he's talking to Aldir and let him know that he's leaving. And Aldir, man, he's so loyal to his clan. He also states it, everything he's done has been for the protection of his clan, and like he's even to the point where he asked him to banish him, so that way he didn't get his clan caught up in any sort of fights with the Indrath clan, and have them suffer for his own actions, because that his clan's got his back. His clan is loyal. Like I said, if they coming for one of us, they coming for all of us, right? But he didn't want to get his clan involved into the fight, and so he just like, banish me, so that way you don't have to have anything to do with what I'm doing, because Winsome's coming there with a bunch of dragons to try to get Aldir to come and talk to Kez's, or Kez's summons him and he needs to come either by force or by choice. Now it might be pronounced Ademir, I don't know. On the voice translate it says Ademir, so maybe it might just be Ademir. I guess we'll just go with Ademir for now. But so Ademir, he kind of just accepts Aldir and his decisions because he has tremendous respect for him, and he calls him a paragon, which is just, he's just excellence. Like, he just exudes excellent. He's like, I guess you would say, like, gifted. He's like, stands above everybody. Like he's literally like the idolization. Like he's the person that you idolize, that everybody wants to be like. He exudes excellence. So, and he also talks about how his how wise he is. So he's not gonna challenge what he thinks because of his wisdom. So it really lets you know like how high regard Aldir is known. He's really powerful. That's kind of what I'm into. That he's really powerful. Now we also learned too that Epheotis used to be a battlefield. Maybe we was told this before, but I don't think so. I don't remember it. But Epheotis used to be like a battlefield full of just war. Everybody's against each other. It's just wild. It's just like in the wild. For survival, everybody's battling each other, and that Kez's is the one that brought everybody together. And so I'm just wondering, how did he do that? Like, is it just off of strength? Like, is he just that powerful to where can nobody fuck with him, and so everybody's just gonna just listen to him because he's that strong? Or is it more like diplomatic, right? Like, maybe he was able to negotiate, but he doesn't seem like, he's very cunning and he's smart, Kez's is, but I think it might be a combination of two. It might be the combination of both. But I'm really curious as to like how he was able to get all these extremely powerful beings to stop waging war with one another and come together. It most likely has to do with strength, but it has to be some other things too, not just strength, because the Pantheon race, they had the World Eater technique, and that was, you know, extremely powerful. They was just, you know, messing up the entire, you know, messing up Epheotis, destroying the land and killing, like it's crazy. But also it was multiple people had that technique, and you know, Kez is the one that told them to stop teaching it, so it stopped Pantheon. And then also we find out too that it also harms the user of the technique. We don't know to what extent, but it says that it breaks the caster. So, you know, whatever that means. Also too, we know that Aldir took him decades to even learn the technique from the previous user. And so I remember somebody mentioned in one of the comments, they had said that you know, Aldir was going to teach the technique to Arthur or maybe somebody else, and I didn't really see that happening, just because like I didn't really see the use of it. You know, it was like so destructive, and it just destroys everything, and that just can't be used in the battlefield, or you know, in Decathlon, because it will destroy the environment. And so I mean, you don't want to get rid of, you know, destroy the mana and just everything like that, you know, how devastating that technique is. So I didn't really see a point in using something like that. You know, it'd probably be better to just, you know, get some better, more advanced you know, ether technique. But it also took him decades to learn, and there's just no way Arthur or somebody else is going to learn it that fast when it takes decades to learn. Like, we know that Arthur's a genius, but nah, it just didn't really make sense. So yeah, so Aldir asked to be banished, so that way his clan wouldn't, you know, suffer the consequences of his actions. And, you know, Ademir didn't want to do it, you know, obviously, but like I said, he respects him so much that he's just going to go along, you know, with what he wants to do. And but we also find that he said to go to the Beast Glades. The Beast Glades have dungeons, right, that has secrets that might be able to help him out. So now we're probably going to learn some new, well, it's going to get put into play, you know, later on down the line, to where they go to the Beast Glades, something finds, you know, some dungeon might have some secrets, some knowledge, maybe some new techniques, or maybe it can be a potential, you know, hiding place, a potential sanctuary or something like that. So now, like, we got the whole Beast Glades involved, because we knew that the Beast Glades, they haven't explored most of the Beast Glades, you know, because how dangerous it is. But now, knowing that there's more secrets to behold, and that it's connected to the Pantheon race, and it might help him out, and maybe Arthur or whatever, when they connect up, that's really interesting. Now we get to the point where Wisdom's coming, and he's got, you know, about 12 dragons with him, and they're coming for Aldir. And, you know, this is when we find out that all the people that he brought with him were not just strong dragons, they were actually dragons that were connected to Aldir, that he has, you know, he either trained them or he commanded them, led them in some sort of, you know, fight or something like that. You know, Aldir mentioned that he saved, you know, some of their lives and whatnot. And you know, it's just another tactic, you know, because I'm guessing that Kezis thought that he wouldn't fight and kill the dragons that he had connections with, right? The dragons that he trained, the dragons that, you know, worked under him, you know, that he had some sort of sympathy, and he wouldn't, you know, go against him, to where it increases the chances of him coming back with him. But little did he know that, you know, Aldir, like, he's set, like, there's no turning back, it's over, he's banished, it's done. And so he wasn't going no matter what. And then now it's to the point where, like, he literally has to kill some of his own students, because they're so loyal to Kezis that they're gonna do whatever he say regardless. And he also mentioned how they sold, like, fear. He can see, like, the fear in their eyes, like, you know, like Kezis sold fear into them to get them to do this. And, you know, one of them had mentioned, you know, like, you can tell that they didn't want to do it, but their loyalty to Kezis outweighed their, you know, compassion or any sort of loyalty they had towards Aldir. So, you know, he was just like, all right, this is what I got to do. I got to kill him. Meanwhile, going back to Winsome being a bitch. Now, Winsome didn't even try to fight. He didn't even try to, you know, come in and bring him back. You know, he didn't try to contribute towards the fight, because maybe he might be able to, you know, turn the tides to get them to, you know, submit. Or what? No, he didn't do nothing. He just sat on the sides and watched 12 of these young dragons get slaughtered. And I'm talking about, like, slaughter. Like, Aldir one-shotted everybody. Everybody got one shot. It is man, it's crazy. Aldir ain't no joke. He ain't no joke. Now, one of the things that Aldir said really is starting to make me think that Winsome isn't as strong as we might think he is. For one, he didn't want to fight against Aldir, right? He sat on the sidelines and he just watched. And then number two, he said that he had used a poor imitation of King's force. And so I'm just like, oh, so he's trying to use King force like the Pantheon race, but he's not really doing it that well. And so it's a poor imitation. So this just leads me to think that Aldir is just stronger than Winsome. Now, going back to Ademir, they mentioned something about how, you know, Aldir could have gone higher than Ademir, but he chose not to because it would be disrespectful. Now, that led me to think that Aldir is probably the strongest person in the Pantheon race, even stronger than the leader. And so Winsome just, you know, not contributing. I think that Winsome knew he was gonna lose. I think he knew he was gonna lose. So he would rather just watch them get slaughtered. And then also the impact of just like, okay, now like people are gonna know like, oh, he killed his former students, and you know he's just a traitor now. He killed all these people, so it's like any support he might have had, it all got washed away when he killed all his students, and it's crazy. Now Silverlight, bro. Silverlight is amazing. Like all his attacks was using Silverlight, and also Silverlight. Okay, this reminds me of One Piece, where Enma, right? Enma is just, you know, absorbs the haki from the blade. Now Silverlight absorbs the mana from Aldir, so it literally is like eating and using the mana that Aldir has to power up all these attacks and all these strikes. But not only, because I thought it was just a scythe, right? I thought it's not a scythe. He can literally transform it into any weapon he wants, whether it be a sword, a spear, a scythe, or whatever. This thing is incredible, and it can move by itself and slice things. Like, man, I'm wondering who created Silverlight. Was it Ren? Did Ren create Silverlight, or was it something else? Because man, if Arthur and some of the other mages, you know, like either Kathleen or Curtis or some of the more stronger mages, if they were to get some weapon that can do something like that for them, man, they instantly get a power up, you know, instantly get a power up. And so yeah, Silverlight is incredible. And then this grass, right? The grass that's in the area that's in their homeland. This grass is incredible too. Like, I mean, the grass literally killed one of the dragons. It was Irini, I think that's how you say their name. Killed him. Just sliced through his head. Just dead. Just the grass. The grass can kill you. The grass. And so that's man. That's even Ren talked about it. Like, oh, you know, I step on the wrong piece of grass. All the rest of the grass get pissy, and now they're trying to dice him up. And, you know, it's just wild. So at the end of all this, Aldir just slaughters all of them. You know, they got all these different techniques. You know, they got invisible invisible walls, and you know, black holes, and you know, all this different stuff. And you know, Aldir just one shots everybody. Just one swipe, boom, and they're dead. Belly sliced open, throat. Like it was also crazy too when he took it was Caster. Caster was trying to make some attack, and then he got Silverlight, who turned into a spear, and he threw it and just went to his throat, dead. It's just like, man, he just has no remorse. Like, he's just like, I just gotta take you out. Like, it just is what it is. It's too late. Can't save you guys. Oh well, you know. But yeah. So he just slaughters everybody, and then Winsome just runs away. And he'll all come back with a greater force and all this other shit. And so that's that. He slaughters them. So anyway, so this chapter was great. We get more information about the Pantheon race. We get information about the Beast Glades, you know, some more secrets that they behold. Winsome's a bitch, you know, runs away with his tail between his legs. He's not as strong as you think. And you know, Silverlight is amazing. And you know, we're gonna see what happens next. Like, when are they gonna go and join up with Arthur? Like, when? You know, they just need to get there already. You know, and always we can also see the conflict. You know, how are the Lances are gonna react to them coming there, and You know, is Arthur gonna be welcoming of Aldir? Does he even know that Aldir is the one that saved the Lancers when he was sent out to go kill them and he chose not to? Like, does Arthur even know that? I don't even think they've told him, you know. So, but yeah, this was another excellent chapter, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.